Welcome to Overwatch. This time we're going to be talking about everyone's favourite cover girl for the game. We're going to be talking about TRACER, TRACER herself, and we're joined by the lovely Twitch community here. We've got lots and lots of lovely people saying hello. We just got started, just warming up with the show. And as you can see in the background, you can already see the ratings as well. It's actually nice to have this on the screen right at the start. We have a nice sort of 1.7k, sort of silver gold tier. Silvers with a platinum, I think that is. Or is that gold? That's a gold icon. It's just discolored slightly. Gold, gold, gold. Silvers, gold, gold. So a bit of an edge on this team, but hey, this is the team we're secretly going to be rooting for, because this is the team that we're actually going to be coaching as we go forward. As always, guys, if you have questions, ask them towards the end. And yeah, we will be covering the questions. I will actually set a timer today for like 20 minutes, just to say, like, yeah, we're going to do 20 minutes of questions, and it is kind of first come, first serve, because I just, like, roll down the window. So if you do come up with questions, ask them towards the end, and I'll try and get to them at that point. The guy we're actually going to be talking about is this guy, Bladia, and in his email he sent me a very simple email. He said, I'm stuck at silver, and I don't know why, and I keep losing and losing and losing. Would be great if you can analyze my play and help me out. Well, that's what we're about to do. Okay, let's say bye to Twitch chat. Bye, Twitch chat. Bye, Twitch chat. But yeah, Tracer, one of my favorite heroes to play as. I absolutely adore playing as Tracer. She's fun, she's dynamic, she's quick, she's exciting. She's completely not the kind of character I usually like as well. Like, I like villains, I like villainesses. You know, I think I was, like, weaned on sexy, sultry villainesses, like the evil sorceress, you know, and that kind of thing. That's always been sort of the characters I sort of love. Those kind of, you know, sort of sultry but dark and dangerous, while Tracer's just all bubbly and fun and giggly, and like, she just warms the heart whenever she's around. It's impossible not to fall in love with her a bit. This is going to be all about how to play her though, and we are joined with Bladia. And the first thing I actually noticed when I loaded this up, when I was looking over this footage, is actually this in the top corner. It's kind of hard to see because, like, YouTube puts its stuff on the screen, so if I try and hide that, you can see in the top corner, all the way in the top corner, you can see the ping. 102. It's like, it's going to be actually fairly minor. I think it's silver, it's not going to matter too much. Silver, gold, probably into platinum, into diamond, probably not going to matter that much. But it will make things a little bit tricky and just like hit registration. It will make it harder to dodge a little bit as well. And yeah, it's just like a very minor comment, but I'm curious to see, like, you know, where are you playing from? That kind of thing. Try and keep an eye on that ping. If it does start getting to like 120 to 150, then you might want to consider playing something a little bit less Twitch-based, because on Tracer, split seconds do matter. They absolutely do matter. Now, you can see the team lineup. This is actually going to change slightly. We're going to, lose something when we gain another healer. And I think it even gets put into chat, like, we should have a second healer. This is way too late for swapping it to a second healer. And honestly, it's Tracer. Team comp is a little bit irrelevant to us. Honestly, the big things we're looking for in a team comp is Tracer. Let's just get back to where we can see the entire team lineup. The big thing we're actually going to be looking for in our team lineup, do we have a Lucio is always a good question. Do we have a Zenyatta is always a good question. Do we have a Zarya is also a good question. Other than that, we don't have too much to come up with other than, like, our major game plan. So it looks like, you know, no matter what gets changed here, we're going to be running a fairly standard lineup. We're going to be running something that's just going to run into the enemy team and fight them. And just fight them pretty straight and fight them pretty directly. So as Tracer, we're going to be on the back line. We're probably going to be doing a lot of things on our own. It's going to be fairly isolated. We're not going to have much support in what we're doing, because all the attention, all the pressure is going to be drawn to the front line. So we need to be very aware of that. We need to be aware of what's happening on the front line, where that fight's happening. While if we had a comp that's more like Genji, yeah, like if we had, like, instead of Salty, we had a Genji, instead of a Reinhardt, we had a Winston, then it's much more dive-based, and it's more like, okay, we can get these, you know, me, Genji, Winston can all dive in, all launch onto someone, get ourselves a couple of easy kills, and go from there. Because that doesn't happen in this game, you know, it's a lot more straightforward, and honestly, like, this is more standard Overwatch at the moment, so it's perfectly fine. Like I said, when the countdown's happening, it might be a bit too late to be suggesting team lineup changes. As you can see, like, Soldier just throws himself off, which I find a very novel way of changing hero when you've just left spawn. Surely it'll just be faster to go and press H rather than waiting a 10-second respawn out. Anyway, aside from that, I actually like this pathway. I love this pathway. I love going out this route on Tracer. This is pretty much always the way I attack on Tracer, because the worst thing you could do as Tracer, okay, is you have 150 hit points. Do not ever, and we're going to see this a couple of times, don't ever run in a straight line at the enemy. And you don't do that because you can die to, like, a sneeze. It's so easy to just suddenly die. So easy to suddenly die. So we're going to infiltrate in, and what I've noticed is on this map, especially on Lijiang Tower, when you go this route, you usually make it to, you can basically try and catch enemy team by going behind them, and you'll be a little bit behind them. It depends how stalled up they get in the choke, or you could try going through this route, which is a little bit more on the nose and a little bit more direct. It's a little bit more sort of, you're just running into the enemy team a little bit if you're going through here, or you could try going around here. But the problem with going around here is you're going through like a choke point where there's the wall, and then there's a wall here, so you're sort of getting into a funnel where you can easily be shot. What I generally do is I will generally go blink, run through, blink, and hey, Renegade! Renegade, that's a really good name, and reminds me, I need to harass my friend called Ray as well, and try and get them to sub, and try and get them around as well, because they're just a blast to be around, because they're funny. Renegade, thank you so much for joining the many. It's great to have you with us. Thank you for the support. Anyway, we're fighting, and our team isn't around, because they're busy changing heroes. This is where it gets dangerous for Tracer, because everyone on the enemy team can focus on us. You notice that there's no threat coming from here, there's no threat coming from here, and this, to me, is one of the biggest skills you can have as Tracer, okay? And this is sort of going to be the core focus of what I really want to hone this coaching the many on, which is, when you enter a team fight, you want to have some kind of plan, some kind of idea of what you want to do, what targets you want to get rid of, who you want to be fighting, and how much can you get away with, how many liberties can you take. Because, how many on the enemy team are focusing on you, how many on the enemy team are free to turn and engage you, that kind of stuff. Whenever you take an engagement as Tracer, the fun thing with Tracer is that you can get out of any engagement you don't want to be in. Like, if you don't want to be in a fight, you just leave. You just go. There's nothing stopping you. Like, there's no reason why you can't just pull out. You can recall out, you can just blink away, you can do all kinds of things. You don't have to be in any fight you don't want to be in. And that's amazingly powerful as Tracer. So in this instance, where we've got a Diva shooting at us, we're going to have an Anna shooting at us in a second, we've got a Reinhardt going to be shooting at us. If they're, imagine if they're McCree pulled in, they would all just be shooting at everyone on the enemy team is just shooting at us. In this instance, we really don't want to be here. We don't want to be blinking into the enemy team because they are literally all just turning and shooting at us. By the way, the enemy team has McCree and a Farah, which is going to make things interesting for us. And I'm going to talk also about dealing with like Reinhardt as well later on. And actually, we do the right thing here, which, like, this first blink in is incredibly greedy. So the second we get here, what I would notice if I was playing Tracer is, we've got both tanks facing us. Okay, that's kind of iffy. What I'm noticing is there's just nothing here. Nothing coming in here where our team should be. Like, we should have some kind of support from here. We don't. Okay, that means that everything's going to be focusing on us. I would literally just be shooting here, and then I would blink left or come around this corner and blink away. I don't want to engage this because there's so many things just looking at us that we are in immense danger. We have to recall, we have to get out, and then we blink away this side. Then something interesting happens. We do something that I would consider suicidal, which is we blink, and then we just run straight at this McCree. Luckily, the McCree is so flustered because he's sort of been left alone, and he sees our entire team running this way that he's sort of panicking. This brown blur here is a McCree. But this blinks straight towards him. Like, if he was on the ball, he would have just flashbanged and shot us in the face. This is suicide. When dealing with McCrees as Tracer, okay? When dealing with McCrees as Tracer, you've got to keep in mind, like, the grenade radius. And when you step to here, this is when he's going to grenade. And a good McCree, and I'd say that this works until about 3.7, 3.8k even. A good McCree will flashbang you now. A great McCree would actually try and anticipate what you're doing and try and count your blinks. But here, or he would just, a great McCree would probably just shoot you because we're moving pretty much straight at him. But we want to be so careful when we're in this radius around McCree, and just imagine this zone of control around McCree where we just have instant death if we are not already blinking. So I'm actually fine with like shooting here, and I would have already blinked because most McCrees would have reacted fast enough to throw the flashbang at us by now. If we're blinking away, then we'd probably survive it. Then because we've wrapped around behind him and because he hasn't opted to throw a flashbang, we can get the easy kill, and the rest of our team's coming in now. Finally, we have some support, pick up some health. Good, 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 good. Farah's a really bad target for us unless she's on the ground. So what I like here is this. We turn the corner, we see Farah, we fire off some shots. The instant she rockets up, we should be changing targets. We can't do anything with this Farah. This Farah is, she's out of range for us. Our guns don't do any damage at this distance. We have way better things to be shooting at. And she's just kind of tricky to hit as well. So hey, look at this. This is juicy. One blink in, reserve the blink, good. And then we just want to hunt this target. And we honestly just want to sniff around on like the periphery of the fight. The worst thing we can do, and I see this player do this several times, and it sort of breaks my heart, a little bit. And I see, I've just looked over the side. Madioji, someone in the chat saying, that McCree is pretty bad, I gotta say. I think that McCree was busy shitting himself because 5 people from our team are just running towards that bridge and he's on his own. He's just realized, oh shit, I'm going to die, and he's trying to run away. And I think that's what he's doing. We just want to stiff around on the periphery here. We don't want to ever do this, which is what happens here, which is we blink into a Reinhardt. So Reinhardt comes here. Reinhardts are not scary for Tracer, okay? Not scary at all until we have to like contest a payload or something. Because as long as we have a blink, Reinhardt can never kill us. Never ever kill us. I could dance around a Reinhardt all goddamn day. If, you know, if I did a one-on-one against Ryan from Overwatch Central, who plays a lot of Reinhardt, we loaded up a one-on-one in Lijiang Tower, and I played Tracer, he played Reinhardt, and told him, yeah, just try and kill me once. He would never touch me. Probably. I hope he would never touch me, at the very least. Because there's just never any reason to be in. And the danger with going in is 2 swings and we're dead. Like, 1 swing hits us, and it's very easy for it to do when we are in range. Because that swing arc is so huge, then we just drop so low, we have to instantly recall. So we want to stiff around on the periphery. And anytime we have to blink into the fight, I will be looking to blink immediately through it or out of it. We definitely never want to be in the middle of the clusterfuck, because when we're in the middle of the clusterfuck, that 150 hit points suddenly becomes incredibly relevant, as all the damage is being directed into this sort of area. And it just comes in, and then someone will just accidentally kill you. And it's getting low, keeping the pressure on it. Tracking could be better. We'll talk about tracking in a little while. I think on the next map is when I'll talk about tracking a lot and how to sort of optimize it. But hey, we're doing our job. We're hunting around, sniffing for targets. We want to focus the Ana first. And that's what we're doing. The reason why we focus the Ana first is if we try and kill the Lucio and Ana starts healing Lucio, well, there's Lucio healing plus Ana healing. Ana can only heal herself by using the grenade, so it's the easier target to kill. She's also just a little bit less mobile, a little bit easier to track down. So hey, we're just shooting at it, blink through the fight, recall out because it gets a bit dangerous. Okay, now we want to be retreating, and you notice that we just get slammed by D.Va there. So once the team fight starts devolving, and this is where like Tracer gets very complicated because we're trying to keep track of like everything happening. We're trying to keep an eye on our focus target, but we're also trying to keep an eye on like the state of the team and how many people can shoot us at any given time. And you're noticing now like we're blinking around and suddenly D.Va's shooting at us. And like that's scary, right? As the fight sort of starts winding down, like Roadhog ends up dying, suddenly more and more people are looking at us. We start getting greedy for this kill here. And I totally get this. I totally get the idea that, oh, we could just finish her off, The problem is when heal grenade lands on her, she gets passive healing from the Lucio plus heal grenade, that kill suddenly gets incredibly difficult. And then the second that this happens, like this Lucio dies, we need to be retreating now. Like, this fight is over, there's no reason for us to stay here. And hey, Zlingo! No, it's 2 eyes. Just one of the, no, both of them are small, I misread it. Zingo! I like Zingo. Or Zing Zero, as it truly is. Thank you so much for your support. Welcome to the many, my friend. Great to have you with us. Unfortunately, we get run over by D.Va. The fight kind of devolved into nothing. It didn't really feel like we were having much of an impact. That's largely because that entire first engagement was just a complete mess because people were late getting out of spawn. So the enemy team just got onto the point, stayed onto the point. People came in a bit fractured, a bit scattered, and then it all just kind of went wrong. Now we need to be really careful in planning our approach. Like, we're running in here, and we're chasing after a Lucio, but realistically, can we kill this Lucio in an efficient manner? Not really, he's already healed back up to full. Like, we want to be super careful about doing stuff like this because if I, like, imagine if you had the ability to actually be Tracer and you could just freeze time. You just freeze time, right? And we turn this corner and we freeze time here, like I can do now. Daniela's just died. The rest of our team are trying to get here. I've just lost a lot of ping for some reason. There we go, it's come back to normal. There might have been a bit of a blurb in the stream there. Sorry. But we're back in. So we pause. We see the Lucio. The rest of our team's not really in position to do anything. The rest of our team isn't really able to do stuff at the moment. Realistically, killing this Lucio, even if we kill him, it's not setting their team back too much because we just lost Zenyatta as well. They are in control of the point. We want to be really careful. And we have a pulse bomb. And this, even though the bomb lands and it's a good bomb and gets the Reinhardt, it's going to still be difficult to capitalize on. Luckily, like, the enemy team's still a bit scattered and not that efficient, so we can actually get away with capitalizing on this. But what I would say is we wanted to hold on this bomb just a little bit longer, just a touch longer. And the reason why I say that is simple. It's because we don't have, like, a quick follow-up. Our follow-up is coming up here and here. And so while we get the bomb, and while we actually even get the kill, because this guy runs away from his Ana, I think, Actually, Anna, I think, is just in a terrible location right now, so he doesn't get in. Yeah, Anna's just coming in this way. So he runs away from his healing and support anyway and just gets killed off. How much impact it's actually going to have is going to be difficult to follow up on, because we still got 1 DPS coming in now. Soldier's actually managed to get into a good location, but he's coming in from the flank anyway, dealing his damage from that side. So the bomb doesn't really get too much value, and then this is just a misstep. This happens. It happens, feels bad, man. But I think we could have held on to that bomb a second or two longer. It's a bit tricky with Pulse Bomb, because Pulse Bomb does build up very quickly, and it is very, very hard to land. And we'll talk about Pulse Bomb as well later in a lot of depth when we see a couple of whiffed ones. Because even pros, I think, are largely bad at landing Pulse Bombs. And you just got to make sure that when the bomb lands and when you get the kill is basically like... It's like sweeping out, you know, the team's legs from under them. What we did there was we swept the enemy team's legs out from under them, and then they could already start picking themselves back up by the time we started advancing. Luckily, at this level of play, that solo play still has a big enough impact. We can still kind of capitalize on it because the enemy team just isn't quite good enough. I'm fine with shooting at Farah while she's on the ground. We want to be very careful about moving in front of her, though. Again, always be very, very careful about doing this kind of thing, just because one of Farah's rockets nearly kills us if it lands directly. So we're already in a lot of danger. And we have to recall just for that. Now that we can chase Farah into here, we have 1 blink in reserve, which is good. Farah's not paying attention to us. And when we're in this tiny room, yeah, then Farah's fine to shoot. Just try and match the rhythm of blink to her rocket. So she shoots about 1 per second. So it's like rocket, 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 rocket. You want to be matching your blinks to those rockets. So whenever she's about to shoot, you want to be blinking to somewhere else and make her try and predict where you're going to go. Never blink straight at her as well. Enemy team does something bizarre, which is they pick up a Torbjorn. Something very, very interesting happens here. Completely the wrong decision. And this sounds mean to say, but this is completely the wrong decision. And I'll tell you why. There's actually an interesting mechanical thing that, you know, maybe was missed here. But when Torbjorn is building a turret, if the Torbjorn dies while building his turret, the turret dies. The turret doesn't complete. So you can't just drop a turret and then die until the turret is finished. When the turret is finished, then it'll stay. But while it's building, the turret explodes too. Torbjorn is actually very easy for Tracer to kill. The thing is, Torbjorn makes life difficult for Tracer. We definitely don't want to be focused on that. We want to get rid of the Torbjorn first, because that's... When we get rid of the Torbjorn, like... This turret, a level 1 turret does like 25 DPS-ish, maybe a bit more. Not really a big threat for us. We can blink back, go around the back of the point, use the cover behind the point, finish off the Torbjorn, and then go back and finish off the... scoop up the Torbjorn, scoop up the Anna there as well, and then scoop up the turret later when the Torbjorn's dead, because you can't really rebuild it. Again, we've blinked sort of into the enemy team as well. We want to just be very careful about doing that. We blinked into actually a really helpful location for the Anna as well, because she can heal D.Va and she can damage us, so just always be careful about, you know, where you're going to put yourself in terms of blinks and how you're positioning relative to the enemy team. We never want to be inside the enemy team unless it's absolutely necessary. We always want to be sort of skirting around the edges. Now life gets really difficult for us because of the Torbjorn turret, right? And it's kind of a weird situation, right? Torbjorn on King of the Hill. It's a little bit unorthodox, but whatever. It's silver to gold level play. This happens, I'm sure. Torbjorn makes our life hell once he starts getting set up, okay? The armor reduces our effectiveness massively, and the turret actually makes it very hard for us to get a position, because now areas that are safe, like we rely as Tracer on not taking damage by just dodging it and not being where the damage is landing. The turret doesn't miss, so we will be taking damage. That means that we have limited options. This is crazy. Don't do this, because this happens, where we run in, we take half our damage, and then just some AoE comes in and cleans us up. Molten Cores as a response to the sound barrier. And honestly, like one-on-one, if the Torbjorn is repairing the turret like that, we probably just want to drill Torbjorn in the face, because one clip to Torbjorn's head will kill him. I don't think it will if he's got armor on. Actually, it might. Yeah, it will. It should kill him if you land full headshots. You probably won't land full headshots though, but if you do land full headshots, it'll kill you. The reason why I say that is because you can one-clip a Bastion, and Bastion has more armor. Okay. A little bit dicey. You almost got a pulse bomb. We don't really have anything to come with, and luckily our team, because they have a Torbjorn, can just sort of brute force our way in. Unfortunately, Zenyatta explodes. Feels bad, man. Okay, now we are in contesting mode. So as Tracer, of course, one of our main jobs is to stall. Bit of a whiff grenade. Happens, feels bad. We'll talk about grenades later while we're juking around. Definitely don't want to be taking damage. Because we're in stall mode, we want to just be avoiding damage. So we die with 2 blinks in reserve. The second we see this turret, we know that the Reinhardt's following us. We just want to blink back the way we came to get out of line of sight of this turret, and then blink again to just get away from the Reinhardt. Like, that is the direction we're going right now, because we have to be stalling. I mean, I usually talk about stuff like priority lists as well, so while we just transition, let's talk a little bit about that. What are our priorities as Tracer? Well, in this case, our priority is going to be simply to get rid of the Ana, harass the Ana as much as possible, and then probably put a grenade, a pulse bomb onto the tanks somewhat. If you can get a grenade, like, eliminate Ana is priority 1, eliminate Lucio priority 2, and then get grenade into useful location priority 3. Pulse bomb isn't going to be easy because we don't have a Zarya, so pulse bomb's always going to be a bit tricky. The best thing we can hope for is, you know, people start huddling from a diva bomb or something, but honestly, we have nothing to really combo off. We're going to be playing very, very independently. Now that we're on this map, again, flanking routes become super, super important in this map. We don't want to be following the team. There's just no value. And if you're playing Tracer and you're following like the main group of the team, if you're grouping with the team as Tracer, you are losing resources because you might as well be playing McCree or Soldier. You know, we already have a Soldier, but hey, Six Amongst Many. Oh my god. You made an account and just subbed to me. Thank you so much, Six Amongst Many. Welcome to the many, fittingly. Beautiful stuff. This is, again, I like this. This is the route I usually take, and you'll generally see me taking. Hey, we got a free kill here. Although the fire could make it difficult, but this, like, the thing with Torbjorn, okay, and I said this in a video before and everyone laughed because I said, I'm going to quote myself because I thought it was funny at the time as well. Like, if you cast your memory back, Tracer is 95% spunk, and Torbjorn is 50% head. He is, like, he's the easiest kill in the world. We can one-clip a Torbjorn pretty easily. The fire makes it a bit complicated, but hey, it's still not a big issue. And, like, he even picks up health. He's still not really that scary. Fire in an indoor environment as well. That's good kill from us, capitalizing on the back of it. Let's kill this Torbjorn. This drove me crazy when I saw it because we just run at him. If Torbjorn headshot us here, we would have died. There is never any reason to run directly at him. Luckily, he makes the wrong decision, right-clicks us instead of just left-clicking us in the face. But we definitely want to be doing some sidestepping. We don't want to be walking in a straight line. We want to be bouncing side to side, trying to juke as much as we can. Because if he does left-click us, we just die. Torbjorn could very easily have one-shot us there. Okay, we get him. 2 of their DPS are down. Fight is basically 1. And honestly, like, you know, I talked about killing Ana first, but because, like, we were on our way, like, on our flank route, we ran into some easy kill targets. This suddenly becomes an easy priority for us because we can clean this up without too much issue, and then there just so happens to also be a Farah lurking around here that we can help finish off as well. So then our priority can shift. We can deal with this if we are good enough because Torbjorn's an easy kill. There is a lot of burst potential here, but as long as we are using our blinks well, we should be okay. By blinking back here, she drops low to the Roadhog, I imagine, so we clean up on that, and then we just go and get rid of the Torbjorn. Perfectly fine with that. We're not shirking our duties. We're actually doing a good job here. Reinhardt here. This, again, this is why I mentioned earlier that Reinhardt isn't scary. This Reinhardt cannot touch us. This Reinhardt actually shouldn't have even landed this shot. The second he started walking forward, we should have just blinked back. And we didn't even need to recall there. Like, there is zero danger here if we do things right, where if instead of just taking that hammer swing, we just blink this way, even if he hits us with a fire strike, we still have 50 hit points. There's a large health pack behind us, and of course, one thing is Tracer, like, this sort of goes without saying, but you've got to know where the large health packs are and where your escape routes are. You've got to have a plan, sort of, what happens if I do take damage. So even if it clicks us with a fire strike, we can go pick this up and then rejoin the fight. And we're just busy pulling that Reinhardt away. We're not even necessarily looking to kill him. Luckily, Lucio comes in, boops him off, and gets the kill. But even if we're just pulling the Reinhardt away, that's honestly good enough for us. We can pick up the large health pack, rejoin our team. Team has the point. They can't do anything. We miss an opportunity here. This is just not being observant a little bit. You see these purple beams? Notice they're not coming from this way. Like, there's no Ana back here. When they're purple, that means it's an enemy team's Ana. When they're golden, it means it's yours. If they're red, it's a Widowmaker. That tells us that there's an Ana actually that way. Like, we want to go that way. And if we went that way and we went for the Ana, that would have been a little bit better. Shooting the Discord target's, like, not a bad idea, but just because healing's getting pumped into it, it's just not quite full value. Want to be really careful about blinking towards this and, like, running after McCree. If this McCree, again, is a little bit more observant, we will be in a lot of trouble. Pulse Bomb is whiffed, and I think this is where I wanted to talk about Pulse Bombs a little bit. Landing pulse bombs is incredibly difficult. What I noticed is a lot of people rush them and panic and just, like, throw it. And I'm as guilty of this as anyone. Like, I do this all the time myself, where I'll get the pulse bomb and I'll try and land a stick on it. Best way to land a stick is to actually get right in someone's face. Now, of course, you're not going to do that to a McCree because chances are you're just going to die. But the best way to do it is to just blink into someone. Very rare you want to be going for a pulse bomb on a diva, on a D-Mech diva. It's just not worth it, even if you do get the kill, because you can probably kill her without, and it's such a small target, hitting it's not going to really happen. Best way to land pulse bombs is to put people in chokes and pull them towards you in chokes. So like the Reinhardt thing I was talking about yesterday, suck them in. You can do the same thing with Tracer. Like if someone's coming through here and they start getting towards the edge here, there's no room for the dodge. You blink right up to them, pulse bomb, and blink back, and they'll just explode. And even if you don't catch them, you'll usually catch some damage onto them. But we definitely didn't need to do that. Notice that this healing is coming out of Anna. I think people go... Does anyone go after the Anna? I think she might get disrupted there by the Lucio. So she actually can't heal there. And you notice the 2 supports here now on their own. We definitely want to be getting rid of this Anna. Discord is on her. Unfortunately, she has a heal field, so this is going to be causing problems for the Lucio. We still do want to be focusing the Anna, though. Be very careful about putting yourself in a corner, just because it makes it easy for her to grenade. We just want to be blinking around, taking our time with it. We've got Soldier 76 here as well. Definitely keep our focus on the Anna instead. The second that hammer hit us, though, the second we heard the thunk, it should be now, we wanted to recall. Like when you get a hammer thunk, just recall. When in doubt, recall out. We gotta recall out. Gotta recall out. There's no way you can survive with 75 hit points. Luckily, Turtle the Cat comes in, beautiful name, and gets some kills. And Coffee Slurp. Luckily, we're still okay. Like, I was a little bit greedy, honestly, chasing the Anna for that long. But as Tracer, we can be a bit greedy. It's just we got to be better at getting back out the second it is being greedy. It's sort of knowing how many liberties you can take and afford to take, and how many people are going to be shooting you or around you at any given time. When there's the 2 supports there, okay, we can be a bit greedy, you can try for the kill. When it stops working, and then when the Reinhardt arrived especially, we had to recall, blink, and get out. We just didn't want to be there anymore. Again, it's just keeping in mind how many people are shooting at me, how many people are being annoying. They've almost taken the point. Now I will be switching my mind to contest mode. So when I'm in contest mode, I just want to stay on the point and make sure that they do not take it. And the reason why is simple, okay? In King of the Hill, getting 5% more is actually a big difference. Like, you want to be drawing this out. King of the Hill is one of the few exceptions to trickling in, because if you're trickling in but you still have the point, it's honestly okay. It is honestly okay. It's when the point gets flipped, then it becomes bad, then you want to regroup. While you still own the point, though, is actually perfectly fine to keep contesting. We have a flying Reinhardt that never does put that hammer down. He shouts it, but he just launches into the air, doesn't manage to get it. We get grenaded. Good move. The second we're grenaded, we want to back out, get out of the fight. So the second this grenade lands on us, so we blink in, get damage on Anna. Good, 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 good. Blink through the Anna, perfectly fine. She throws a grenade at her feet. Most Annas do this. She's got healing boost on us. She's got a diva with her. We are low on health. Out. We want to back out. Don't bother going for that health pack. Maybe look around here, get this health pack. Maybe go all the way into the back, get the next health pack. We actually don't even want to be fighting at the moment. We want to be finding health. Okay, we're going to the point, getting health. Good. And the reason is simple. We can't afford to be beneath 100 hit points, right? Because when you're below 100 hit points, everything can kill you in faster than you can react. When you have 150, you generally have a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, we've got rid of 2 of their DPS. They're still trying to push in. We can actually do a lot with this because they're doing a slow push. So the Reinhardt is slowly moving forward. If we just blink in. And honestly, this is getting greedy. The bomb going here is actually getting a bit greedy. We do actually manage to get value off it, but honestly, with the positioning here and the fact that there's a diva here, this is incredibly telegraphed. You know, the only time a Tracer would be blinking like this is if she wants to drop a pulse bomb. If I was the diva, I would have put the defense matrix up. And yeah, like I would have just put defense matrix up now and just kept it on the Tracer, and you would have never landed this bomb. Instead, what you notice here is like we're in a good position right here. One blink in puts us past the barrier. We should have just bombed this guy. It would have made him panic, made everyone on their team like go, oh shit. Put them instantly on the back foot. This is a bit greedy. We still get value off it, luckily. I think the Lucio lands right on it. It's good for us still. Perfectly fine with the motion to flank as well. The motion. I misspeak. I generally say motion wrong. Weird, isn't it? Just because, again, there's no benefit in us being in like the main fight. We want to be pecking around the outside of it, trying to get round to the back, trying to get from angles that are going to be distracting for them. Perfectly fine with that. We want to close in a little bit on the Anna. And just keep our eye on the Anna, stay out of the fight as much as possible. Ooh, that Lucio looks tempting. Again, blinking into the middle of the fight. We almost blinked into the sleep dart, for example. If we blinked into that, we could have been in real trouble here. Want to be a bit careful with this kind of direct engagement as well. When she has her direct attention on us, like it only takes one shot and a grenade for her to kill us. And if she lands like a single shot and has a grenade up, we just die. We've got to be super careful with that. So we just want to, like in this instance, I would have just blinked this way when she turned to shoot at us. And it just makes it more confusing for her as well to try and fight and kill us. We almost exploded there as well. Like, you notice we blinked towards the enemy team. We just want to be careful about doing that because we almost, like... I keep forgetting the buttons like inch back like a split second or a frame second. There's a rocket right there. That was almost in the back of our head. If we blinked over here, we probably would have been a bit safer. Don't like this refocus on the 76. Good recall, though. Now we want to back out, be a little bit careful. And I'd say be very careful about re-engaging going this way. Just because, again, the enemy team sort of knows where Ran is going to be looking for us. Luckily, they don't really pay attention to us, which is good for us. Because Soldier could have just killed us very quickly there. Luckily, they all split up and don't manage to do it. Now they're struggling to get on the point. We just want to make sure that they can't do that. In this instance, especially now that that hook's landed, let's just finish off the Reinhardt. Good. Good, 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 good. Stay on point. Correct. Cut off reinforcements, stay on the point, kill people coming in. So, you know, why did we win that when we didn't win last time? You know, we didn't do too much different, right? And honestly, like, we missed more pulse bombs in that one than we hit in the previous one, so why did we win there instead of winning on the first map? Well, it's quite simple. Most of the time that we were engaging, our team was engaging at the same time, so we were free to do stuff in the back. And you notice that things go wrong. Thank you for listening to the hotkeys in chat. Good stuff, chat. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. Finish my thought. And so you notice that the team was engaging in the first map. It felt like we were just engaging on our own a lot, and this does happen when you're playing like Tracer and Genji especially. I'm a bugger for this myself. I do this myself quite a lot, and this is how I learned not to do this, because every time I did it, you just start losing. You think, well, I'm drawing all this pressure, and all 5 of them are shooting me. Surely my team should be winning. Your team isn't even there. Your team isn't doing anything. You just got to sort of resync with your team, because there are going to be times when you're just not synchronized, because you tend to die out of sync when you're playing Tracer.